Are you looking for the best portable welding machines in your budget? Well, in today's video we break down the top 5 best portable welding machines that are available on the market. I made this list based on their price, quality, durability, and more. To find out more information about this product, you can check out the description below, and also make sure you subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. The fifth product on our list is the VIVOHOME Portable Flux Core Wire Welder. VIVOHOME is a Chinese manufacturer with an impressive list of products, from fruit juicers to electric fireplaces. If you're looking for bargains for your home or office, they'll most likely have it. A reader turned me on to their Flux Core Welder recently, and I ordered one and put it through my rigorous testing process. The consistency of this machine's welding ability shocked me. It runs on 115 V power, which means a 15 amp housebreaker will supply you with more than enough power to weld up to 1/4 steel. The overall build quality is subdued yet impressive. The outer shell is stainless steel with a black matte finish. It doesn't scuff easily and should repel most cases of rust and corrosion. VIVOHOME organized the front panel with easy-to-understand switches. You have an adjustable dial for your wire speed and 2 switches for a total of 4 current flow settings. At its highest setting, this portable flux core wire welder runs for around 2 minutes per 10-minute on cycle. That's lower than your average welder. But at this rock-bottom price point, you won't find anything better. I really like the consistent feed for your flux core wire. Opening the hood, I discovered the feed wheel has notched grooves. I've tested welders in this price range before, and rarely do they have grooved wire feed wheels. The welder weighs around 30 pounds. That's more than the Forney model, but still within the portable welder range of approximately 50 pounds. It's compact and should easily fit in a small storage space or shelf. With the portable flux core wire welder from VIVOHOME, you get a welding gun, ground clamp, welding helmet, wire brush, 2 contact tips, and a spool adapter. You must buy flux core wire before operating the machine. There are some downsides. First, there's no contactor to energize the flux core wire, so it's always active. This is an annoyance when working on big projects where you must move your metal around in between welds. Essentially, whatever the tip of the welding gun touches will trigger the flux core wire. Last, hunt for tutorials online. The instructions that ship with the unit are badly written in a half-senseless version of English. You can find a ton of tutorials for similar welders, however, so you can easily remedy this inconvenience. I recommend the VIVOHOME Portable Welder for beginners and small shops planning small-scale welding jobs. Also, it'd be fine for on-site farm machinery welding where you only have access to a gas generator. Up next in the 4th place is the Goplus Mig 130 Welder AC Flux Core Welder. Goplus ships thousands of SUNCOOs around the world. They sell a range of products in over a dozen categories, including home and garden and home improvement. When you want to save money without losing quality, they're an ideal brand from which to buy. The Goplus Mig 130 Welder AC Flux Core Welder is a prime example of Goplus money-saving superiority. It's an AC welder that runs on 115 V horsepower. I usually consider AC welders the lower end of the welding spectrum. That's because they run hotter and overheat faster. But Goplus machine surprised me. Working with this welder, I found it to be a fantastic value for the price point. We're in the bottom tier here, so don't expect to weld clean exhaust pipes or trailer hitches for milled steel you'd find around your house. However, you'll get your money's worth with the Goplus Mig 130 Welder AC Flux Core Welder. This is a very convenient machine. It runs flux core wire, which means no inert gas required. The downside to gasless flux core is that it's harder to get clean welds and you can't weld thin material. You'll also require plenty of air circulation. On the front panel, you'll find a 10-speed wire adjustment knob and 4 settings for your current flow. On the highest setting, the MIG 130 welder runs on a 20% duty cycle, or 2 minutes every 10 minutes. For small projects and minor fixes, that's more than enough time. The 2-fan cooling system in the back means when you overheat the machine you won't wait long for it to reset. The welder comes with everything you need to start right away, including cables, flux core wire, and a ground clamp. I recommend this product for anyone that wants to try welding and has very limited space and money. The third product on our list is the Sunku 130 MIG Welder. SUNCOO is an international company that manufactures industrial-grade products for the construction, automotive, food, and pet sectors. From grooming tables to plasma cutters, if you're looking for affordable yet durable products, they'll have it in stock. The Sunku 130 MIG welder resembles other AC gasless welders on my list. Like the Goplus 130, this is a great option for DIY projects and house repairs. That's because it runs off a 15-amp breaker and ships with everything you need to weld right out of the box. With this welder, you get a flux core welding gun, ground clamp, contact tips, extra fuses, a weld brush, and face mask. The flux core wire that ships with the product should last you a few sessions, but I recommend buying another spool to have on hand. It runs out faster than you think. The manual explains the switches and dial on the front panel. There's no gas port on the back of the device, so you can't try MIG gas welding. This limits what you can do with this machine, but also makes it very easy to learn and earn some welding experience quickly. My only gripe with the inner workings is that the spool drive is plastic and doesn't grip the wire as well as a machine that's 2 or 3 times the price. Sadly, these sorts of problems come with the budget territory. With some finagling, however, you can achieve some fantastic welds. For the right customer, this is an ideal machine. It runs on any wall outlet and can weld upwards of 1/4 milled steel. Anyone who's a little tentative about buying a welder and doesn't want to spend too much should try out the Sunku 130 MIG welder flux core wire automatic feed. Second on our list is the Mophorn 200 amp TIG and stick welder. Mophorn is a niche product maker with best-selling ice cream machines and engravers in their stock lists. They've recently opened into the welding market and have surprised customers with their reasonably priced DC machines. The 200 amp TIG and stick welder big performer in a portable package. It weighs in at just 20 pounds and yet can TIG weld on 220 V power and stick weld with the included torch. This machine can weld stainless steel, titanium, and copper brass. The front-facing controls are very easy to operate. You have an arc and TIG switch and adjustable arc and TIG power flow knobs. As a dual-voltage machine, the Mophorn 200 amp welder can plug into your house power 15 amp outlet or a 20 amp circuit. The only downside is that it doesn't come with an adapter for 220 V power. That means out of the box it can run on a 15 amp circuit. Setting up argon gas is very simple. They labeled the ports on the back of the welder. You must buy a gas regulator separately. Otherwise, it ships with everything you'll need, including a torch gun, arc electrode holder, work clamp, welding mask, welding brush, and user's manual. I really like the torch gun. It feels great in the hand and the trigger system responds well and doesn't jam up. The arc stick welding without gas runs flawlessly, too. With a 60% duty cycle and 95% efficiency rating, this TIG welder is hardy enough for the novice hankering to weld TIG or arc stick. It's also a fantastic portable option for professionals that want to cut down on the cost of their secondary TIG machine. The Mophorn 200 amp TIG welder is light, easy to learn, and versatile enough to be a staple tool in your hobby shop or truck. Finally, the top product on our list is the Forney Easyweld 261. In Fort Collins, Colorado, Forney Industries has relished its near 90 years as a leader in welding machines and equipment. In fact, they were the first company to sell a consumer-grade arc welder, way back in 1940. That gift for ingenuity is clear from the first moment you open Forney's Easyweld 261. This is the company's most popular welding machine. It's a flux core, or gasless MIG, design that uses .30 flux core wire. From the front panel you can see it has infinite wire speed and voltage to adapt to any project. This is an entry-level welder with professional bones. It impressed me with its beefy 140 amp power cycle. Forney says it can weld up to 1/4 steel, but I've seen videos of consumers welding thicker than that without overheating the unit. Coming in at 19 pounds, the Forney Easyweld 261 is an ideal portable welder. I envisage no sprained backs or sore arms from unloading this machine off a truck or pulling it off a shelf in a tinkerer's garage shop. As a gasless MIG welder, you cannot hook up an inert gas. That means the welder outputs plumes of smoke. You can curb the fumes a little by buying quality wire. But if you plan to run this thing inside, you'll need ventilation. Opening the hood, you'll notice a spool adapter for small and large wire. Like most budget machines, the wire drive is made of plastic, the rollers are steel, along with the bolts, but if the plastic knob breaks, you must buy a replacement from Forney. This machine includes an 8-foot MIG gun, 8-foot ground clamp, torch wrap handle, and an adapter for 15 amp to 20 amp plugs. You'll need to buy contact tips and flux core wire before welding with the Forney Easyweld 261. I found the welder performed well on a 15 amp breaker. So if you plan to run this at home, either outside or in a shed, you should be fine. If possible, have a dedicated 15 amp breaker for thick gauge welding, as it might pop a breaker on high voltages. On a 20 amp breaker, the 261 competes with welders twice its price. It has a commendable duty cycle and works well for repair work or small projects. I think this is the best portable welder for small projects. It comes highly recommended for beginners or amateurs. Thanks for watching, and that's all for now. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till next time.